Hello children. Today we will be looking at the top 10 creepy mystery channels on YouTube you should be watching. Okay, who turned out the lights? How am I meant to do YouTube videos if I can't see? Hold on, I think I have found a light switch. Let me just press it and see what happens. Ah, that is so much better. I can see again. Wait, why is everyone running and screaming? Let's just run the intro and get on with this top 10, shall we?
Number 10.
Criminally listed.
Number 5. John Hill. Ottumwa is a small city in southern Iowa, and it is home to a disturbing, unsolved mystery. Early on the morning of November 22, 1976, two men walked into the Ottumwa laundrette, and in a small room they found the dead body of the 51-year-old owner of the laundrette, John Hill. He had been stabbed multiple times and shot. The police were called to the scene, and they found a .25 caliber handgun on the floor near Hill's body. Near the entrance of the laundrette, the police found 5 bullet holes. The police concluded that Hill died as a result of a robbery gone wrong. Hill fired his gun 5 times at the robber and missed with each shot. The robber attacked Hill, stabbing and shooting him. The police said that it was a long, drawn-out struggle. Then the killer did something really unusual. Despite having multiple gunshots go off, which would have drawn a lot of attention, the killer took the time to write something in the victim's blood at the crime scene. It either said black or lack, and then the second word was older. The police are unsure what the words refer to or their significance. There were 2 suspects in the case who were a couple, but neither were charged because they had strong alibis. Unfortunately, the case has never been solved, and Hill's family is still looking for answers as to who is responsible for his brutal and senseless murder.
Number 9.
DorsetGhost Mysteries.
Being watched by someone that is capable of murdering you, or filming your very last moments. These are 5 creepy and chilling events caught on video. Let's begin. Number 1. On 16th of April 2014, the 6,825-ton MV Sorrel capsized while carrying 476 people. Most of them were school kids. The chilling footage that you're seeing was filmed by senior school kids that were inside the MV Sorrel at the time it capsized. The terrified young teenagers were told to stay where they were inside their cabins by crew members. At first, the school kids were nervously laughing and joking, believing the likes of the captain, teachers and crew members would help them. What they didn't know was that when the ferry began to sink, the captain and his crew members evacuated the MV Sorrel and left the kids to basically die. He didn't even change his order for everyone to evacuate. These terrifying scenes were captured as the school kids were in tears talking about their loved ones. How terrifying it must have been when they were so young in a sinking ship with no adult supervisors or loved ones to help you. Over 300 passengers died. The captain was later sentenced to 36 years in jail. He was charged with murder. The owner of the MV Sorrel, who was wanted by the police for questioning, was later found dead.
Number 8.
Scary Mysteries.
In June 1936, husband and wife Emma and Max Hahn went on a stroll along Red Creek in London, Texas. On their walk, they saw a loose rock with a piece of wood sticking out of it. Out of curiosity, they took it home and kept it. It would be an entire decade until their son cracked it open with a chisel and hammer. Utterly stumped, they turned over the artifact to archaeologists who were puzzled by the find. What made the hammer so unique? Could it have been just an ordinary 19th century hammer a worker abandoned and was somehow encased in a rock? During their study, they found that the rock encasing the hammer dates as far back as 400 million years old, belonging to the Ordovician era. However, others have proposed it belongs to the Cretaceous era, about 150 million years old. Regardless, it's a very old artifact. Closely examined, the iron head is 5 inches long with a 1-inch diameter. making it likely that it was used for soft metal or finer work instead of large projects. The head portion is made from 96.6% iron, far too pure than what nature could produce without the help of technology. However, the real kicker is that the iron itself is said to be 500 million years old. It's so old that a portion of the handle has even started transforming into coal. Nobody can explain how this happened. There are educated guesses, including one stating that highly soluble minerals already in the limestone must have created a concentration around the item. This then caused it to seem as old as the minerals dated itself. However, that is unlikely and doesn't explain the handle turning to coal, which takes a minimum 30 million years to form. No one has been able to confirm the origins of the London hammer, and so to this day it remains a strong contender for proof of an intelligent ancient past.
Number 7.
Weird World.
The notion of time travel has always fascinated people, usually popularized in movies, TV shows and books. We are fixated on the events of the past, sometimes question, for example, if killing baby Hitler would have changed the course of world history for the better. What if time travel isn't fiction? Today we'll be showcasing what could possibly be real-life evidence of time travel. These are 10 counts of possible evidence of time travel throughout history that just might change your mind. If they are not time travelers, you must admit that some are downright spooky. Number 10. Woman speaking on a mobile phone. A mysterious video emerged from 1938 showing a woman speaking on a mobile phone. Found in 2013, this footage could indicate evidence of the existence of time travel. However, her grandchildren came forward and explained. Well, we asked her about this and she remembers it quite clearly. She says DuPont had a telephone communications section in the factory where she worked. Well, yes, but that does not explain what she's holding up to her face.
Number 6.
Vintage Files.
Number 5. The Bohemian Club Ritual. The Bohemian Club is a private group of more than 1,500 men believed to be part of the Illuminati. Most of the members of this group are musicians, businessmen, and powerful politicians. Former U.S. Presidents Ronald Reagan and Richard Nixon were notable members of this group. Every month of July, members of the club meet in the forest near Monte Rio, California, and perform several rituals during their stay. One of the rituals is called the cremation of care. In this ritual, they sacrifice a human dummy by burning it in a 40-foot-long concrete owl statue. The concept of this ritual is to get rid of the internal guilt or fear from our world leaders. There are serious conspiracies that loom around this ritual. Some people believe that this group sacrifices a real human in this ritual. Alex Jones, a conspiracy theorist, was able to sneak up in the forest and filmed a portion of the event. The old footage shows the horrific screaming of a person during the sacrifice, which sparked the conspiracy.
Number 5.
The Paranormal Scholar.
Edgar Cayce, also known as the Sleeping Prophet, is celebrated as the most documented psychic of the 20th century. Over the course of 40 years, Cayce used his alleged gift of mediumship to give psychic readings to thousands of clients, informing them about everything from past lives to medical diagnosis to future prophecies. All of this he did whilst in a state of deep relaxation. It was as such that he claimed to be able to calibrate his mind to the secrets of universal consciousness. He is credited with having successfully predicted both world wars, not only foreseeing their eventuality, but also providing accurate start and end dates. He is also said to have predicted the stock market crash and the Great Depression of 1929. During a life reading in 1925, Cayce said of a young man, "In the present sphere, he will have a great amount of monies to care for. In the adverse forces that will come then in 1929, care should be taken lest this money, without the more discretion in small things be taken from the entity.
Number 4.
Strange but true stories.
Strange, yet true stories. Tales from the light side, the dark side, and the other side. I'm Steve White. The Giant of Kandahar. This article was written and brought to you by WND.com. It's one of the most bizarre stories to come out of America's longest war. An allegation United States Special Forces engaged and killed a giant in Afghanistan. But it's being reported by multiple sources. Several eyewitnesses claim the battle not only took the life of an American soldier, but that the government flew the huge corpse of the attacker back to the United States. Reporter and researcher L.A. Marzulli explores the spectacular charge in the newest installment of The Watchers, the blockbuster series investigating the real evidence behind the Nephilim. These creatures were the offspring of the sons of God, the angels and the daughters of men. In Genesis chapter 6 verse 4 and Numbers chapter 13 verse 33, the Bible speaks of giants populating the earth. When ordinary people saw them, they said, "We were in our own sight as grasshoppers, and so we were in their sight." A strange passage, but one Marzulli contends is backed by evidence. What's more, these giants didn't just exist in biblical times, but live on through the present day.
Number 3.
Creepy News.
Annabelle is a doll alleged by self-proclaimed demonologist Edmund Lorraine Warren to be haunted. The doll resides in a glass box at the Warren's Occult Museum in Monroe, Connecticut. The story served as the inspiration for the films Annabelle and The Conjuring. Annabelle has been compared to Robert the Doll and was described in Gerald Riddle's 2002 biography of Edmund Lorraine Warren, the demonologist. Like all cinematic depictions of perfectly factual stories, the filmmakers responsible for The Conjuring have taken some liberties with the source material. The bizarre case of Annabelle is no exception, as the pigtailed, rosy-cheeked, ghastly apparition from the movie was, in actuality, a run-of-the-mill Raggedy Ann doll. The character was created by writer and marketing genius Johnny Grow when his daughter brought him an old doll and he drew a face on it.
Number 2.
The Creepy Fox.
Warning. Some of the stories that you're about to listen to contain material that may be inappropriate for some audiences. Viewer discretion is highly advised. Number 1. So, I know that red rooms are impossible on tour, and that's true. But the thing is, I didn't access it on tour. What happened was I was going through the hidden wiki when I came across a page with lots of different links. I scrolled about halfway down the page and started clicking on the links. Most of them were weird cold sites and just weird random things. But then I came across a site that just had a big red button which had the word download on it in orange letters. I was using a spare laptop that I don't have any personal information on, and I was at a local McDonald's and using McDonald's Wi-Fi, so I didn't really care if it was downloading malware. I pressed download and I got a pop-up from the antivirus asking me if I wanted to download it. But of course, as you'd imagine, I pressed yes. The download took about 15 minutes, and when it was done, the file name was just random numbers and letters. When I pressed it, the screen was wide and it took about a minute or so for things to finally load. Once it was loaded, I could tell that it was a live stream of sorts from the chat box on the side. The live stream, though, was some guy stabbing cats and rabbits, and then he was eating them raw. There are 24 people watching the live stream, including myself, as it said the number of viewers on the top right of the page. I didn't try to click off of the pages, I thought it wouldn't work, so I just took out my USB killer and fried the laptop's motherboard. This happened about 2 days ago, and nothing has really happened since. Update: Sunday 25th of June. I noticed that when I woke up, there's a pentagram drawn in black paint on my grass. I don't know if this is related to my deep web experience, but I just hope it's not. I'll update if anything happens.
Number 1.
Dark matter.
Thanks to the rise of drone technology, various unseen creatures and locations have finally been documented. With this, of course, comes supposed footage of the paranormal. So from the black-eyed children of Cannock Chase, to the legendary pygmy people of Sumatra, join us. Although seemingly just basic footage of a forest, this video is speculated to contain a Sasquatch. It was first published on March 4, 2012, and according to the uploader, was shot in Salt Fork State Park, Ohio. Whilst on a routine flyby, the camera appears to catch a dark looming figure believed to be Sasquatch. Take a look. Interestingly, the state park has long been associated with Sasquatches. Multiple tree knocks, howls, and footprints have all been recorded in the area. Therefore, is it possible the footage is genuine proof? Or are the skeptics right?
There you have it. 10 creepy YouTube channels that you should be watching. If you have found at least one new channel in this list, then please leave a like and subscribe. Did we miss any out that you think deserves more attention? If so, please leave a comment below. Let's keep YouTube creepy. Until next time, goodbye. And is anyone else feeling really cold, or is it just me?